Yo, what's up guys? Bruno here, bringing you another matchup guide. This one is going to be against Garen. So something I want to look at, and I haven't really done it before, is more some concepts that you will see in the laning phase, and especially has to do with Garen. Some things to keep in mind, basically. So, for one, max range Qs. These are also drills that you could run on your own time and get more familiar with it. Max range Qs are going to be very important into Garen, even before we have Divine or anything like that, because we want to be able to keep distance on him, because he's completely melee, right? So he can only do damage if he's right in front of us, but we can also continue to do damage to him from a distance. So we never have to get really close enough where he's allowed to take a trade, and that's going to come in handy. So also, something to keep in mind is using our combo very fast and being able to get damage out, but also get away. So during the laning phase, for those first 6 levels, we're really trying to parry his Q. So when he runs at us, right, we're looking to parry, auto EQ, take a vital, and get out. And if we can sneak in one more, because he's usually going to Q, and then he's going to E us, right? So we're going to try to parry that Q, get our damage out, and then get away from the E as fast as possible while putting out some damage. So we're parrying, auto EQ, and sneak in that other one, and then just running away, right? So using the extra movement speed from the vitals as well, to be able to get away from him. So these are just some things I wanted to show before we actually jump into the game. So now we'll go into the game, because you're going to see these during the first 10 levels. So you notice what we were talking about earlier, how I'm going to try to use my movement speed. So I'm getting 2 auto attacks off there, right? And that's pretty ideal. We're looking to get either a Q auto or auto Q. And the thing with Q is you can use it in place. I mean, you can use Fiora's Q in place and still do damage to the target. So we're looking to do that and then have him chase us while we have that extra movement speed from hitting the vital where he can't catch us. So we're making it impossible for him to actually trade back with us, essentially. That's the goal. And we'll try to get the level 2 advantage and then take big trades on him. We really want to stack the wave and then push it in on him on the early levels and possibly set up for a dive. Because typically for the first 3 or 4 levels, we're looking to trade with him and use our movement speed from vitals like that and keep avoiding allowing him to hit us back. And when we get the opportunity, we go for an all-in like this, stack our Conqueror up. In this first level, when it's impossible for him to really proc phase rush, that's when we're looking for those opportunities. Imagine you hit the vital, and then you get the movement speed, you run away, and then once his Q falls off, which you can see, right, by you clicking on him and having his toolkit up in the corner. Obviously in the review, it's down here, but it would be up here in the game, and you can actually see when he uses his Q, it's got a timer on it. So if he doesn't use it by a certain amount of time, and he just chases you with it, then it can run out and go back on cooldown. So notice how we're taking these trades. We're trying to get him low, and then we want to look for a solo dive. Now, obviously, if jungle's on our side of the map, then that works too. But we can really solo dive Garen if he's low enough. So we've got him low. Luckily, we have Shaco here. And we got first blood, and the game's over. Literally, the game is over for the Garen. We would have to make a huge mistake or get ganked. Hecarim would have to come and gank us for us to lose this lane. That is all you really need in this lane, is just the smallest lead, and you are fine. You are good to go. So you'll actually start to see that now. We're going to be rushing Divine. Divine is going to be our go-to for this lane against Garen. Divine is when you win. Even if you were even throughout the lane, once you get Divine, you win. That is one of the most important things. So now back to lane, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be doing the same thing that we were just doing, but we can pull this wave and now try to control it more because we've got a refillable, we have an item advantage, and now we can try to control and keep trading with them. So you can actually see movement speed has increased, the decisive strike, he's used his Q now, and so it'll run out if he's just chasing you. If he doesn't hit something with it, it will run out, and then it will go on cooldown. And the cooldown starts once he uses it as well. So it's an 8-second cooldown. I mean, it's a long cooldown early as well, and that's why when we were in that level 2 situation, once he had used his Q, we went for the trade because he was level 1, right? So it's going to take him another 8 seconds to be able to use any ability. All he's got is auto attacks, and I've got my Q that's going to come up every 4 seconds. So I can weave in a lot more damage than he can. So we parry the Q there, and then we kind of are trying to avoid taking damage from the E and get another vital off. And here's the Hecarim to fix the lane. We get the flash. That's all right. And we're still healthy. We're still healthy in HP. No reason to even try and fight it, right? We need to keep our HP up so that we can continue to stay in the lane. We do have teleport, but rather not use it at this point. Collect these minions, and we'll still have a XP advantage. We're going to hit level 5 before he does. And so at this point, we still are healthy enough where we could try to slow push this back, hit level 6 first, and go for a play. And I think that is exactly what we're going to do here. And then also, I mean, we could go for the trades like we were doing in the early levels. Before he hits level 6, I mean, we just win really hard. We just win super hard by pairing his Q and then kiting around his E, which is when he's spinning. And the spin does a lot of damage, by the way. The spin does a lot of damage. We really want to avoid that. The E, the Judgment. So even though that ends up being a favorable trade, it's just because we have a little bit of the item advantage and a level advantage. But notice how much damage, really what's doing the most damage out of anything is the E. And it's shredding our armor as well. So that's the thing. Because E is going to shred armor and do damage, and obviously it's going to scale more and more. So when you're getting your armor taken away, that's where it gets scary. But notice how we went for the trade. We've got the level advantage, we've got an item advantage, so we go for the trade, we get him real low, and we're trying to set up, can we personally get a gank, or can I just force this guy under tower for a bit so that I can get a back off? So keeping the tempo in our favor, right? Because by the time this wave bounces back, I'll be back to lane, and I will once again have the item advantage because I'm getting to spend my gold. So I've got 944 that's sitting in my inventory. That's 2,400 gold. He's only got 1,500 with only 1,300 spent. So this is going to be, I'm going to come back to lane with 1,000 more gold. Now, in this situation, I also have the opportunity because I'm slow pushing like this. And Garen really struggles to like clear the wave without putting himself in risk. For him to go and clear this wave and trim it down, he has to run into the wave and then E it, which means I can trade with him. And it's very easy to get him low because that's the only way he can. I mean, he's got no ranged abilities or anything like that. So if I slow stack a wave like that, I'm always going to guarantee myself for a free play where I'm going to be able to make some sort of roam mid, some sort of roam into enemy jungle to get vision down, top priority to help with a Rift Herald. So I can control the pace of the game very early. And obviously with that first blood, it's a little bit different, right? Because we got the first blood, we did get a little bit lucky that Shaco was there to help us. But at the same time, even if Shaco wasn't there, we still crashed the wave. We still kept the tempo in our favor. We had priority. We go back, and then we come back to the lane at level 3 earlier in the game before we get that first blood. But this is just showing literally just how one kill in this lane, in the phase rush lane, is just so massive. So massive to the fact where Garen should no longer be able to play the game without some sort of help. The phase rush is really annoying in the laning phase, but if you can get that like jungle gank or sneak in a kill by just whittling him down and going for the play, he's just done. He's done. So now we're level 6. Longsword, Sheen, we're very strong. We're very strong. I mean, if this guy slips up at all, you'll notice these Q vital pokes that we're doing are going to slowly, and not even slowly, pretty quickly, take his HP away. Pretty quickly. And keep in mind too, something to look at is we are trying to like consistently hit vitals when we can. By the way, this is something I love to do, and I don't see a lot of people do it. Just using your ult on Fiora to get lane presence, cause pressure. Because imagine I'm able to get all 4 vitals off there, and I trade them into the tower. I'm going to get all my HP back while I just stand at the edge of the circle and heal, and then Wave is pushing back. So he can't really... He has no choice. He has to recall. He can't walk back out with... I hit 2 more vitals there. He's got 150 HP. He can't walk back out. He's got to go back to his base. He's got to go get HP. So then he's going to lose a whole wave worth of XP and gold. So I'm slowly building the lead. Slowly building the lead. By the way, something that I wanted to say. Garen's passive, regenerating 2% max HP every 5 seconds if he hasn't been damaged. So that's why... we try to keep the trades going. Now, usually you don't even think about it too much because his Q is on an 8-second cooldown, so you're typically trading with him every 8 seconds. It's just that we don't want to have him just standing behind minions without being threatened. We really are trying to punish him for getting any type of CS because of our mobility and how we're able to get that extra movement speed from vitals to get away from any trades from him. And we notice that in the early levels as well. And we'll continue to notice that one of the big goals that we're looking for is to just kite him around. He really can't do damage when we're consistently proccing the vitals, getting the movement speed, and just running in circles around him, truly. So that was a really good example, right? So this was a little bit slide parry backwards. We missed the parry. If we hit the parry, we would have slowed him, which would have been great. But a little slide parry backwards, that's massive. Now we avoid the E, and then we go back in and get a full combo off real quick. So slowly but surely, this would put him in a position where I could solo dive him. where I could dive him by myself, or he has to leave, and then maybe I get a tower plate or something like that. So at this point, I really want to look for something. Really want to look for some sort of play. Getting the plate is perfect because he's too low. Gonna try to stop this back. I don't want him to be able to back. He doesn't have teleport. I'm trying to make this game as impossible for him as I can. So, by the way, notice how much he's healing here because I'm not trading with him. Healing a lot. Now, here's something I want to talk about when it comes to this gank. When we see this gank on our screen, our first thought is not to fight it, but to get away. Because I'm sitting on 1,000 gold. I don't have my flash here. And I don't have enough mana to even use a full combo. First thing that comes to my mind is whoever is the fastest is the person that I want to ult, because I'm going to use my ult to boost my movement speed to run away. I'm not going to use my ult to get a kill. I'm going to use my ult so that when whoever is fastest and is chasing me down the lane, they're going to keep themselves in the circle for me so that I get the extra movement speed from my ulti. All I really care about is I ult the quickest person and I just run back to tower. Ult's going to boost our movement speed by 30%. 30% just by us standing in there. And so I can use that to run away. And then notice a big thing with Garen's ulti, by the way, is how big of an animation is. It takes a while for that ulti to come out, and it's something to keep in mind. It's really easy to parry. His ulti is very easy to parry. Just something to like always, if you have your eyes out for it and you're looking for it, I'm waiting for him to slam the ground. I mean, it's like a whole second before it comes out. One of the slower ultis, to say the least. One of the slower ultis. And then he's greeting a little bit by staying, and then we're able to get the follow-up here. So we've survived 2 Hecarim ganks, which is massive. Garen's really struggling. Garen's down by 20 CS. Hecarim is trying to help. It's just not happening because we get that early lead. Also, little macro tip here after that play. Notice how I take the wave and I grab aggro and I pull it to the side. This will make it so these minions will focus the first minion that they come in contact with, which means they'll kill it faster. And then the next wave that comes from him is going to hit closer to his side, which means this will cause the wave to push back into me and allow me to set up for another kill. So we're very close to Divine at this point. We don't have it yet, but you'll notice how big of a difference it is once we get Divine. It's just an insane power spike, basically. Doing the same thing as always, kiting him out, hitting the vitals. Using our ulti for pressure, right? Using our ulti for pressure. All his HP is gone. Once again, he can't lane. Once again, he can't lane. We're down 20 CS. I just ult him. I'm up 2 levels. I use my ults to get that prio, get some damage on him, and keep myself healthy. And then once again, he's stuck onto the tower. Stuck on the tower. And we're just gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it. We're gonna respect it a little bit. And we do get the Akali gank. But in that situation, I'm just going to respect it and back because I have enough for Divine. Anytime that I'm able to get Divine, I want to go get that item as fast as possible. This is where the whole lane changes. So even prior to us having the Divine, just having that early kill and that extra gold was enough to put Garen out of the lane entirely. But now that we have Divine, it's much worse for him. And he does get a free kill as well. So it's not enough for him to get back into the game, though, so no worries. We have Divine. Our trades are going to be even better now. We're just following that same pattern. We're going in for that front-facing vitals, or even back-facing if we would like, as long as we have enough room to run behind him and avoid the E damage. Spreading the lead. This is not much to do with the lane, but it's like a really nice macro play. So if I have teleport up and I see a fight's about to break out at Dragon and the wave is already pushed in, I have a big enough lead that it's okay. There's no tower plates up. They're going to drop in 15 seconds, so maybe he gets 1 if I leave the wave. So I'm giving up a little bit, but it's for the greater good. It's for the team, right? So that we already have 1 dragon, get a second one, set us up for possible soul. We don't know what it's going to be, but having a 2 dragon advantage is really nice. So we kind of leave this because we have teleport. Now, if I don't have teleport, I'm probably not going to leave. I'm probably going to stay up there because then I don't have a way to get back to the lane quickly. But in this situation, we rotate. I'm 2-0. I'm strong. My team might need me. Do a little flash ulti there and clean this fight up and allow us to get Dragon. Spreading my lead to the team, basically, helping them out. We were gone for a while, by the way. In this situation, though, I truly think that this play is better. I actually do. So he is going to grab this tower. But notice there's already a pretty big gold difference. As long as I have a gold lead on him, I'm fine, right? So he comes down, he gets his tower. We helped with the dragon. I did have the opportunity. I could have teleported back, obviously. If we won the fight hard, I could have teleported back. But since most of us died, I needed to stay to get the tower. But even after him getting that, I still have the gold lead. So it's really not a big deal at all, because now I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to continue my... So I'm taking my lead, spreading it to my team a little bit, and then I know that I'm going to be fine against Garen, so I'm coming back to fight him. So keep in mind with that phase rush too, the haste bonus will go up as the game goes on, and he just gets really fast. There's one play that I really want to show you when it's like late game Garen, where it's just like not even worth it to chase him, but I do it anyways. I still get the kill, but it's just insane how fast Garen ends up being. Mazda Speed 3 was his name too. But throughout the game, this is like, that is the play that we're looking for. That is the play that we're looking for. Every single time. It does not really matter what phase of the game. If we're in a side lane, that's kind of what we're looking for. We're trying to stay away from the E, hit our vitals, try to kite up, kite down, kite to the left, right, whatever it may be. Hit those vitals and chunk him all the way down. So once again, just like in the laning phase, even though laning phase is basically over at this point, we're still doing the same thing, keeping our HP high, taking the trades on vitals, keeping this guy below the tower. But also, something to keep in mind is that you don't want to sit here and just keep bouncing this under the tower. Like, if there's an objective up, it's a good idea to roam. It's a good idea to roam like we did earlier for that dragon fight. It's okay for us to stay here while nothing's going on the map, but when something does happen, we definitely want to help. So, I'm going to teleport here, because there's no point in me to stand here and just keep throwing that back. Throwing that wave under the tower over and over again. Now, the only reason I do teleport is because it's Akali in the bot lane. Akali is their win con here because she's 3-0. I see this fight going on. I'm very surprised Wukong wins this. Good for him. Well done. I teleport just in case that he doesn't win it so that I can get the shutdown and I can clean that up. We're able to make it back, save the tower, and then same thing again. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Stride Breaker and Phase Rush. It's never worth it. It's hardly ever worth it to go, if he's got Stride Breaker and Phase Rush up, it's hardly ever worth it. So notice, he hits me, and then he just ease away Phase Rush and Stride Breaker. If I was to ult him or try to flash and chase him, it just wouldn't be worth. His Q's already back up. He would just keep running. So just don't fall for the trap. Just keep your HP high. Keep those vitals going. And this game just will slowly become yours. I'm going to have more value in a side lane than he is. I'm going to be a lot stronger when it comes to the split push. I'm able to take towers very quickly, a lot faster than he is. I'm able to get grab 2 there because he roamed. At this point, we're in no real threat of dying. And now, once again, we're looking to help, right? Going to the dragon. Spreading our lead to the team, helping him out there. Here's Garen. We have ulti up. Oh, this is a nice little play. Slide parry into the Jinx to stun her. That was great. But just after that lead that we got in lane, the Garen's just kind of, I mean, he's a fast, speedy boy, but he can't really do much. He's a fast, speedy boy, but he can't really do too much to help his team or anything like that. So the game just ends up being ours. It's slowly but surely. There should be no reason that Garen can come back into this lane. So we're going to keep playing off the side lane using our teleport. Keep in mind, he doesn't have teleport, so I have a lot more value in the side lane. And I don't really need to take Ignite in this lane whatsoever. But I just keep splitting. Garen can't do anything. And at this point, Garen would need a lot of help. Garen would need a lot of help to actually get the kill on me. Even if Hecarim came, we could probably just outrun them. Is this the play I wanted to show you guys? This was hilarious. Tell me that's not insane. So if you're ever going to chase the Garen, keep in mind, we're starting this fight down here. This was more for the memes because this game's over. We already won, right? Because I'm 6-0. There's no way that I should be able to throw this lead. It would be pretty hard. I'd have to not be trying. But this is what the phase rush Garen does so fast. I get 2 lucky vitals, actually, get my ult off, and I chase this guy. He's got Ghost, but he doesn't have Flash, luckily. But we have to chase him all the way, and I have to get another lucky vital to even get the kill there. All the way down to here, from here. So, it's just never worth it to chase, guys. Never worth it to chase. Keep your HP high. That was more for the memes. It worked out. It worked out because we got a lot of lucky vitals. But Just funny. I thought that clip. I thought that was hilarious. But seriously, we're just we're split pushing, teleporting when necessary. Keep Garen away from the fight, and if Garen doesn't respond to us, then we will consistently be able to take towers and just end the game. This game just ends up being over. And at this point, there's nothing you can do in a side lane if we keep trading the way that we have been. It's just really impossible. Impossible for him. And we end up getting the win with a 9-0 game against the Mazda Speed 3 Garen. The Mecha Fast. The Mecha Fast. And that is the Garen matchup guide, guys. I hope this helps you out in your laning phase against Garen. I know that he's not as popular when it comes to like Masters Plus, but he gets played a lot in the lower elos, and I know that he can be super annoying. So hopefully this helps you guys out with your climb. And until next time, peace out. Love ya. Bye-bye.